Random kid says Charles is going to get you canceled, and then is the world ready for unhinged Charles? Never. It is never. I've been unhinged once before. It was not ready then. It's not ready now. And they're about 7-Eleven, and that's how I always say. I don't know why. That's how I always say it. It's 7-Eleven, like 7-L-E-V-E-N, and it's 7-Eleven. And I just anyway. I've been there 2 days in a row now. I went out to Alabama yesterday with a patient, and anytime I hit outside the Georgia and they have them, I make sure we stop there to fuel up. And I got my Slurpee there. And then tonight, we're in South Carolina, and I hit one outside, I think Charleston's where we were, and Columbia. Anyway, whatever. And they have a Nerds flavored Slurpee, dude, where it's the green and the strawberry together, just like in the box. You know, you get the box with the 2 flavors in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
good stuff.
That's all good stuff. It is my new favorite 7-Eleven Slurpee flavor. My partner called it a slushy, so I kicked him out and made him walk half the way back. But yeah. Then I'm gonna skip to the third one. Being unleashed. I told Joe some of the tired, more detailed version of this, but my life's been a little crazy for the last couple of weeks, but in a good way. Like there was some
of it.
There were some major changes to it, but I kept everything I've been building for the last 6 months, you know, or sometimes longer, but definitely for the last 6, you know. Man, I find myself in call after call escalating into different conversations. There is a world that exists where I might be in a conversation with Steve Aoki and Mr. Beast in the near future. It's there's things building that there's a path, and that those paths may cross. They're looking like they're gonna cross. They may not, but I keep finding these escalating. Like I'm talking to people involved with the NFL. I'm talking to people involved with the 28 Olympics in LA, with some other stuff that I'm doing. And so I was like, wow. And it's a lot. It's like, man, I got to jump on this meeting. I got to do this, and I got to go help my dad. And I got to, you know, a lot of gotta, and I got to make some money. Next week, I'm going to an EMS conference, and I'm going to be representing 3 things: myself, Ambulance Academy, one EMS being myself, Ambulance Academy, and my Safe Pass. But there, I'm actually through my Safe Pass. Apparently, the keynote speaker, which I never look and see who's speaking at these things, because I'm going to go. But a keynote speaker is somebody big who my Safe Pass has been in talks with, so they're going to come down to the conference, and me and them and this dude are going to go have a sit down meeting. We're about to launch the first video for Ambulance Academy, and that should really just explode my consulting career, because the company I've been consulting with, they built Ambulance Academy, and now they've tied me into it. And there's a lot of good reasons why I believe that when we launch this thing this weekend, because I want to launch it before I go to the conference, so I can really promote it and talk about it at the conference. Even though it's somewhat the wrong audience, it's still the right audience. And I really just feel like when I come back from everything, it's gonna go. That's the unleashed. This is kind of going to tie into the how do I that I set up, but I've really just started letting go of worrying about what others are trying to do, and just tapping into, I don't have a better word for it, Joe, because I know you probably do, but my brain's tired. But basically people who celebrate me, right? Not just, oh, Charles is awesome, but go, oh, man, you do this and you do this well, and we want that. We're missing that piece. So plug that into the puzzle here and see how all of our specialties work together. And I mean, I had an amazing call with Bob Magoo just randomly this week, and I think we just invented some really cool stuff into the universe that'll be coming up. For fingers crossed. I mean, we just spoke it, but there's some legitimate ways we can open these doors that and you're part of that, Joe, that you don't know about yet, but we do some amazingly cool. I mean, just this life of the creator, where it's like, what's the next project? And our bills are covered, everything's flowing, and I get to tap into doing the things I love. But it also means, to the chagrin of Kelsey and Joe and my wife and others, that I'm going back to being a little more unhinged, Charles, which means I just say the stuff that comes to my brain because I think it's funny. And sometimes there's a very pointed jokes or some very cross the line Like, you got to know
Uh-oh.
your audience kind of phrases, okay? And I do know my audience, but I said something the other day. Oh, long story long. My mother passed away. We all knew it's coming. We've talked about it on the show. Her visitation is a visitation and a celebration tomorrow afternoon. My son's girlfriend can't come. She has to work. Fully acceptable, fully understandable. But being who we are, we give grief. And Aaron's like, what? And she's been all silly. What doesn't she know? The family is important. Just being all funny, right? And Oakland's laughing. I was like, well, that means she owes us once when her mom dies. Nope. We ain't going there. We're like, whoa. Like, hey, but you're still laughing because I'll still be there for her. But come on, that was funny. So just so you know, Unleashed Charles is a little bit unhinged Charles as well. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Now, the third one is, and this does involve Joe, and Joe does come out and watch this show sometimes. I don't know if you listen to podcasts, but Wise and Nerdy. So Be Awesome Together this week. The recording is live on YouTube and Twitch. Should have it there. Should be the only video on Twitch right now because I just turned on Keep Videos over there. We did the how to build your hook for what you're creating. And Tyra really wanted to do Wise and Nerdy. And over about 30 minutes of work on that show, I texted it, Joe, so I'm pulling it up. We have a new hook for this show. And I think it really, and I know you gave a like on the text or whatever. I want your actual thoughts and feedback on this. But we went through this process. Tyra starts asking, and she's so good at this. Why do you do what you do? And as you're saying things, she's hearing little things, writes down words, and pulls you in and asks you more. And she asked me to talk about why I think Joe does Wise and Nerdy. And I found myself, as I'm talking about why I truly believe you do it, like from my point of view, what I see in you, what you're doing, as I was saying that stuff, I realized, well, that's really, I'm somehow using you to put into words why I do it, even though I do believe that's why you do it. And it just lined up. And here's the hook. And I'm so excited about this. The next con that we're doing is Conjuration. It's the last con of the year for most of us in this circuit. And definitely for Joe and I, it's the last con of the year. And we're doing Wise and Nerdy there. And I got them to change the description. So it'll be the first time the description hits the public. So I'm very curious to see how it brings people in to that show. Because we know at Conjuration, we do okay. We have 5 to 8 people. It's a smaller con.
Well, yeah, it's a much smaller con, but yeah.
But I'm wondering if we don't get more people from this. So here's the hook. Wise and Nerdy, where fatherhood meets fandom. What happens when Toys R Us kids grow up and become parents? They become co-hosts of the show where geeky fathers unite to share the joys, challenges, and hilarity of navigating parenthood. Because being a grown-up doesn't mean you stop being a fan. It just means your sidekicks call you dad.
That's right.
That's such a bad host. You're such a horrible partner. You're supposed to hit the tennis ball back, man, not just sit there with the coaches maker. Got it. So.
Brought to you by Tyra. I mean Charles.
We worked on. No, Tyra was very influential, as was Chad. Random Kid says Charles is going to get you canceled, and then is the world ready for unhinged Charles? Never. It is never. I've been unhinged once before. It was not ready then. It's not ready now. But no, seriously, as we went through it, the big thing, Venter was there watching, and basically everybody watching. And Tyra, when we read the line, because we chat GPT helped us a little bit, we put in our magic, which I came up with the Toys R Us line, and about we're Toys R Us kids who just grew up is what I said. And Tyra refined that into what happens when they grow up to become parents, they become hosts. And then I took actually that other line is something you and I put together about geeky fathers unite to share joys, challenges, and hilarity of navigating parenthood. We worked on that like a year or two ago. So that was already part of our description. And then the last line was, because being a grown-up doesn't mean you stop being a fan. It just means your sidekicks call you dad. Chat GPT took our magic and just added that. They added a bunch of other crap that we had to take out, but we got that one line. So, Joe, I actually want to know what Kelsey thinks, but I will. She's on the delay. She's on the delay. She'll type it in. How does that hit you? What do you think?
I like it, especially that last line, to be honest. I really like that last line.
And I say it this way, not that I don't like it, but I was really on the mindset of saying this says you're being seen. It just says it in a way that makes you feel you're being seen. there was one line it gave that I really liked about this is where parents come to be seen or something like that. So I kind of locked on that because that's what I was thinking. Everybody has loved that last line. And I don't hate it. I mean, I think it's great too. And here's what Tyra said about it. It's because it really captures the heart of what the show is. And
All
Kelsey
right.
gave it
My wife has approved.
2 large popcorns up.